we're going to do a short evaluation of just, I want to know what you want to learn concept wise, like where you think your weaknesses are and what we're going to mainly focus on. Uh, Next up, we're probably going to talk about like what you want to basically get out of this coaching session other than what you want to work on. And then lastly, we're going to review the game, or we're going to I review the game, and I'm going to try to focus really hard on that concept to make you play that extremely well. Sound good?
Okay. Yep. Sounds good.
All right. So, what are the three concepts that you think you are lacking in the ADC position or your role right now?
Um, well, I could only come up with two, really. I know there's probably a third one,
That's fine.
but I just for the life of me couldn't think of a third one. Anyway, so the first thing I want to talk about is just carrying when your team is feeding. The second one being jungle tracking.
All right. So carrying solo and jungle tracking. All right. That's just really easy to focus on. So, when your teammates are feeding, it's going to happen. Obviously, we have to accept these things. And the way to
Yeah.
pretty much carry our way out of it is we just have to think about how can we win lane phase as fast as possible. And also at the same time, we have to watch out for our teammates. So this is going to require a lot of macro and very little micro in this session. So I'm going to focus more on how you're going to play the map rather than how you're going to like use your abilities and how you're going to stand. Is that okay?
Yeah. No. Yeah. That's perfect. Yeah.
All right. Hop in the game, load up the share screen, and let's get into it.
Okay.
All right. Let me know when you get in game. Until then, you can either talk to me, do whatever, or I'm gonna
Okay.
keep on streaming this $330 waste of Kobe beef dinner.
I was actually watching MasterChef last night.
Oh,
And
which one? Which one?
cousins-
America or Canada?
America, and they had Kobe beef. One of them like totally fucking schmucked it up.
How do you schmuck it up? Like it's the easiest thing to cook. I'm not even kidding. Like you
Kobe
undercook it
beef?
and they say thank you.
Kobe beef?
Yeah, Kobe beef and Wagyu. Like Kobe's a notch above Wagyu, believe it or not.
That's interesting. All the judges, when I was watching, were saying that Kobe beef was the hardest meat to cook, or like the hardest beef to cook.
It's the hardest beef because it's really easy to overcook, and that's why. But
Right.
it's also the easiest because like it requires the least amount of cooking. Because look at what's on my screen.
Oh,
This is considered done. That shit's still mooing, but apparently that's perfectly cooked.
right.
But I'm not a chef. I've only had Wagyu once, and like it was good. But I'm not gonna lie, guys. Wagyu is an experience kind of food. It's not a indulgent one. Like you cannot eat a ribeye of Wagyu. Like no matter what you try to believe, you're not making it out of that alive. It's way too fatty, way too
Right.
oily. All right. So do you have a certain ADC pool that you want to play?
Yeah, I'm an Aphelios one trick, but I'm very comfortable on any ADC.
Okay, Aphelios one trick. All right. So you understand the biggest strength and weakness of Aphelios, right? Like the strength being you're really good at kiting, and your biggest weakness being if the enemy
I'm
team
immobile.
is like a kite back comp, you're kind of
Right.
fucked. Okay.
Yeah,
As long as
range. Yeah.
Would you like me to try to assist your runes as well, or you think you got that under control?
I have runes under control. I'm
Okay.
confident in my runes, my itemization. I just think there's some in-game concepts that I need to work on.
Okay. Can I see your runes?
Yeah.
I'm assuming you're a very big Gale Force advocate, because I see that.
Yeah, from the Ingenious Hunter, right?
Yeah.
It just depends on the game, really. I see Sejuani, so immediately I'm thinking Kraken Slayer, right?
Okay.
And I wouldn't take Domination secondary if I was building Kraken.
Okay. I see your initial rune setup, but for my actually, I'll see the rest of the champs first. Oh, we are just picking Yumi Ivern. We are not trying to win.
Hmm.
Oh, this lane got really. Why would you pick? Wait, what the fuck?
That's really easy.
Yeah, this lane's gonna be really easy. The only thing they can pick here to like maybe fuck you up is like Lucian. I think any other AD carry is kind of an epic fail here. Okay, yeah, they're not playing
Yeah,
to
I'm gonna
win.
take scaling runes, probably build Kraken. That seems good, right?
Actually, that's a good point. What rank are you?
Silver 1.
Silver 1. All right. So by the end of this coaching, hopefully we're going to get you to around like, you know, gold, gold like 3, gold 2. It's hopefully the
Okay.
designated spot. So runes are looking pretty good. There's like a few minor changes, but I'll let you play your style. Oh, I probably should tell you to take cleanse. Fuck. I think it's not too late.
Yeah.
It's all good though.
Yeah.
You have a decent enough front line to where you're okay, and hopefully one of your enchanters builds QSS for you, anyways. All right. So how do we want to play this lane? Actually, I'm gonna do the better thing. I don't know why I'm doing this. I just pop this bitch out.
They're gonna think we're a duo.
Cute.
So usually into these like really easy lanes, I like to take Cole.
I highly advise against that. I
Really?
prefer you go Longsword 3 or Doran's Blade, because the reason why I don't like Cole in the early game is it's really risky for the rewards you get, especially when you're playing in lower elos where fighting is very prominent, where that bonus HP will definitely help a lot. In this lane, it might look like since Braum's a melee champion, he's an engaged, so you want like Doran's Blade. But the truth about Braum is he's more of a poke champion, right? Like he stays back until he sees that engage, and until then, he's gonna keep on pelting you with Qs. Same thing goes for Jinx, so that's why I suggest that you go 3 pots just to regen.
Okay.
Another question that came up is how much mastery points do you have on Aphelios since you're a one trick?
Over all my accounts, I'd probably say like 800k.
Not bad, not bad.
No.
So here you're gonna go to lane.
Yeah.
Alright, so when you're playing versus a melee lane like this, you definitely want to take prio. So first off, you're gonna walk towards the bush.
This one, right?
No, the one in next to you. Yeah. No. That one. Yeah, lane bush. Because you want to clear all these bushes to make sure they're not cheesing. And now you're gonna move up. Do you know how to pull wave?
Like, that's right.
Yeah. And then hold it, wait till all the minions get aggro on you, and then walk in the bush. Or just drop aggro. Alright, not bad. Alright, start autoing the wave. Because now we want prio in this lane. Alright, now that you've cleared all the front line, yeah, you're gonna switch to the gun form. Try to trade. Pretty good. Okay, you're playing a little bit too aggro here. So I want you to, anytime you're going to walk up, make sure that you have creeps in front of you. So that way if Braum Qs you, you're not going to get pretty much like able to get engaged on.
Okay.
Alright, you're going to level 2 here. Walk up. Look for any poke that you can. Whether it's like a Q, doesn't matter. NT. Oh, time to go. Oh, flash out. Alright. Not bad. We get to live. So here you're going to use all your pots. Trying to play too aggro for the next minute or so while you're trying to regen up. Ivern's in the bot lane. There's no vision, so Ivern should be able to get a gank here. As long as you play safe. Hover towards the bottom side of the lane. Don't hover towards the top side. Yeah, because this baits the Jinx into walking into the top side. Okay, once this wave settles, your jungler should be looking for an engage. Pop another pot. Your jungler is taking a sweet ass time to make a play here. Oh, there you go. Go walk up. Ooh, okay. NT, that's pretty good poke. Now Braum can't play the lane. So after shoving in this wave, we're going to use our trinket into the enemy tri-bush. Alright, and now we're going to go back to pushing this lane. So anytime you can, try to auto the Jinx while Braum is unable to play. Of course, make sure you are behind creeps. That way you do not get another Q and they can't engage like that again. You want to hard shove this right now so it resets. Because we're playing off the next wave here. All right, nice. Now we're going to back up a little bit because we can't do anything. Check if this wave is canon.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. So your jungler's coming bot. Let the wave settle. Don't auto attack it.
Yeah.
Don't walk up. Don't try to oversell a gank. Hover bot side. Yep. Notice how Braum is walking upwards now that you're walking down. That's like a really insane strat to use. Don't walk up too much. Let Yumi Q. Let Ivan do his thing. We're just not going to pressure him to go in any sooner. Alright, walk up.
This thing is
NT. It's okay. We zone them off cannon.
I probably
Yeah,
could
we
have
don't
body
want
blocked that.
Alright, so here you're going to non-stop auto the wave with Flamethrower. You're going to try to shove this in now. Because at this point, Ivern needs to leave the bottom side, so Sejuani is going to be bot side as well. This is what I'm talking about by jungler tracking. Alright, and now take a base, take a base, take a base. So here, the reason why I knew that you should push that wave and take a base is because Ivern has spent the past, like, 4 minutes just hovering your lane. If a jungler starts on one side of the map, whichever side they start on, at around 4 minutes to 5 minutes is usually when they're going to appear back on that side again. Because that's how long it takes. It takes 320 for most junglers to clear and take Scuttle, or for Scuttle to spawn. It takes about, like, maybe 5-10 seconds for them to take Scuttle. They're going to look for a gank in that area and then reset. By that time, it's going to be 4 minutes, and so that's how you know where the jungler is going to be. So key rule for that.
Okay.
I'm going to put marks on that.
Would it have been better to back on this cannon wave to miss less farm?
No, the reason why it's good to stay for that cannon wave was because your jungler is still hovering bot side, and it was really good to bait the opponent because they wanted to shove that wave in too. So if Ivern landed that Q, then it would have been really good to punish them. Yep, last hit, slow push. Alright, so right now, jungle is probably going to be on the top side of the map. So you're going to slow push another wave in while Ivern comes bot.
Okay.
In instances like these, you want to hover your top side of the map. That way, if Braum comes in through lane bush, you're not going to eat a Q.
Okay.
Okay, we see Sejuani mid. So every time you see the enemy jungler appear, you're always going to look at where they're disappearing in a fog. So here's Sejuani walk bot side. So this wave, turn into Flamethrower, push this wave as fast as you can. We know Braum is in that bush because he's not showing in lane. Push this wave, ignore the Braum. Yeah, we're going to crash this wave. And now we're going to back up again. Because we can't play aggressive here because we know enemy jungler is nearby. So here we're just going to just chill, do nothing because we can't buy anything, and we're waiting for our jungler anyways.
This is probably warded.
It's all good. So here, we know that jungle camps have just spawned because when Sejuani is walking downwards, the Raptor camp wasn't up yet. So here, Braum's coming around dangerous way. Make sure you play really safe here. Play towards the back. Yeah, don't overextend. Alright, that's fine. That's all you need to do. Because even though your jungler makes those kind of calls, your support, it's best to use your own judgment. Because right here, we know that's Sejuani's bottom side. Because her camps are up and we saw her disappear in the fog into the bot side. So that could have been your teammates baiting you because they're not looking at the map like you are. So here, Ivern's leaving your bottom side of the map, so you should push. Yeah, hard push this. Alright, now back up. Try to take this plate if you can. Just like walk up, play very safe, auto it once, and back. Run. Yep, there's only bot side taking the drag. That's cool. Is this wave cannon?
No.
Okay, so we're going to try to hard push this wave, and on next wave, it should be cannon, and we're going to look for a base. Make sure we hover towards the top side of the map so we're away from the Braum. Alright, wave shoved in. Take a base. By pickaxe. And that's all. No pick ward, don't pick ward.
No?
No, you can't tell anymore. So the key rule that I've learned recently about ADC and just most like roles in general is that getting the mythic is like the best thing you can do. So you want to rush your mythic as fast as possible. Getting a pink ward, unless you're in lane that has perma prio, is 75 gold that's not being put into getting your mythic as fast as you can.
Okay. I'd probably go Tabi's here, right? Maybe.
You can, yeah. All right, so we see Sejuani top side. We're gonna hold this freeze for a little bit. We're gonna see what their bot lane does. Walk closer to your wave so the melee minions. Yeah, huge. All right, we're gonna try to. Okay, teammates are dying on top side. It's fine. It's fine.
An ally has been slain.
The moon shines brightest in darkness. Ready to run?
Careful of the bush. We don't know where Braum is. This is really, really risky. Because they can 2v2 you really easily. Put your trinket ward in the bush. In the lead bush. Nice. So now we're going to build a slow push. Because we know that both jungler and top are going to be on Rift Herald, as we can see. Yep, just like that. So here you can look for short trades while hiding behind your creeps. Push in that melee creep and this cannon, and make sure you're standing behind your cannon creep when you're looking up the trade. Heal, heal. Yep, good, good. Ulti. This is unfortunate. Your Yumi got caught.
Yeah.
Those things happen. It's okay. So I like your idea where when your support's getting engaged on, you are trying to look for the AD carry. However, at the same time, because Braum is so tanky and he can defend for the Jinx, it's like not likely for you to be able to kill the Yumi.
Okay.
I mean, kill the Jinx
The
the time
Jinx.
before, yeah.
Right.
But I like it. You have the correct idea. It's just in this case it doesn't work because it's fucking Yumi.
Right.
Also, anytime your support gets engaged on, heal the moment they take like a decent amount of damage, which is literally if they lose like a fifth of their HP pool. Because the
Right.
moment that they engaged on like that, chances are they're gonna
You're gonna get
instantly
ignited.
Yeah.
It is the only thing.
You with my wild and furious.
The same darkness.
All right, we're gonna slow push this. We're gonna hope that Ivern comes down towards us. Nice movement.
I see such wonders.
What?
Okay, at around this time, Sejuani's gonna be bot side. She's gonna look for bot side play. So we're gonna be very careful here. And on this next wave that comes, we're gonna try to look for a hard push. Careful of Braum. NT. Just chill for a bit. Braum is playing that aggressive because he's telling you that Sejuani's here. He's playing.
Right.
Like, there's no way he just goes up like that just for fun. So hug the top side of your lane, because if he's trying to kill the bushes, that's probably a tell. That's
Oh,
yep,
sure,
there
here,
she is.
sure,
Run
here.
back. Run. Oh, good movement. Insane. Good flash. Yeah, you see how jungle tracking is kind of insane and sniffing out Jinx like
Yeah.
that. It's really
Get
good.
in.
So here, your mid laner is kind of in like a really weird spot, but it's okay. I think they're out alive. Yo, what's up, Jokers 1v9? I'm doing a coaching session right now, so hope everyone is learning a lot from me coaching the Aphelios player. But yeah, what's up? Thanks for the follow earlier, by the way. I saw. So here, Sejuani's still on the bottom side, so we're going to play very, very safe because Dragon is spawning. Our jungler is indeed on the top side of the map, so we can't really trade anything back right now.
Should I freeze this for free? Fail at me.
You can't freeze this. You need to push this. You need to just hard push. Oh, it's too late. Never mind. So in bot lane, 3 creeps does not equate to a freeze in that position. Once the
Right.
creeps pass where that area was, you slow push there now. You don't hard push.
Okay.
But in that area, you slow push because, or you hard push that because you want the wave to be in the middle so it resets faster.
Right. Should I hard push right now because they're doing drag?
No, it's really dangerous because we aren't sure, right? They could just be waiting for
Right.
you.
Okay.
Okay, now hard push. Now hard push. Because now that we have actual vision. Yeah, yeah, okay. Hug the bottom side while pushing. You probably want to back up soon, like now. Ooh, this could get bad. Oh, this could be good. This could be good. Play slow,
It's
play
good,
slow.
it's good. I don't know where to do this.
Good movement. Oh, he blocked it. That's so unlucky.
Oh man.
It was really close. It was really close.
Yeah.
Oh, buy the quick clip.
Yeah.
All right, we're probably gonna VOD review this afterwards because I kind of want to teach you a few concepts about lane phase, but we're gonna worry about that later.
Okay.
So we're gonna miss this wave. That's unlucky.
Ally has been slain.
Oh, another thing that you did was you bought boots and cloth armor really early instead of buying that crit cloak. If you bought that crit cloak like before those, you would have your mythic right now. You see what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
Your turret has been
All right, so we are in the perfect scenario where your solo laners are inting. Unfortunately, lane phase is going a little bit bad because Yumi's getting caught or we didn't back up soon enough, but it's okay.
They need our light.
Yeah, I saw Red post on Kaisa, so I followed. Yo, I appreciate it, man. Alright, so at this point in time, because top lane is completely won, it probably means that Sejuani is going to hard push this bot. So right now, I want you to hard push this wave. We want this to crash in order for us to get a reset of the wave. Because if Sejuani's here right now on this wave, they can just freeze it. Yep, back up, play really safe. Okay, base. Just look for a base and get your Kraken.
Base?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because we can't safely push it. Look, Kiana's like, come here. Back up, back up, back up, back up. I don't know if that
No,
pushes
she's
water or not.
oblivious. I
Okay.
don't think it is.
You can stay, you can stay.
Yeah. In fact, this might be good actually.
I don't think it's going to be good. I think you're really, really weak without your mythic right now. And if they hit you with 1 Q, it's kind of over for you because you don't have cleanse. Good movement. This is not going to end up that well for you. It's not terrible. Pretty good trade, but that cost us our ulti.
Think she backed.
I think she's basing.
I think I can like I have a sound cue of her basing right now.
Yeah,
Did I
yeah.
show this next wave?
Yeah, you're going to actually look top, look top, look top, look top. Up there, right there. Oh, we are walking into death.
Yeah.
So that's why I said look. I didn't say walk. You need to like look with your
Right.
mini map before you move.
Yeah, yeah. I saw the skirmish happening and I thought, yeah. You're right, my bad.
It's all good. Oh, I love the silver chat warriors. It's so chill.
No kidding.
All right, right now, where do you think the enemy jungle is?
Top side.
Why?
No, because their camps were up and drag isn't up for another minute. But I see she's in my try now.
Yeah. So the reason why
I
I
can
was
overkill
gonna
her,
guess bots.
actually.
Oh yeah. You need to be safe here because she ulties you. Chances are Jinx could go in and try to kill you here. She's really, really tanky. Play upwards, kite upwards. Oh, that's downwards.
I flashed downwards for Yumi.
I don't know why Jinx didn't help, but the reason why I say like go upwards is because Yumi can still go over the wall. Flashing downwards was a good idea, kind of, but if Jinx was there to cut off Yumi and kill you, that's a double kill, you know?
That's true. Also, yeah, I was kind of thinking about that too, but my Yumi was also like pathing like down, right?
Yeah.
So
I
don't
mean,
think she
again,
would've
you
been
have
far
like the
enough
right
for me.
ideas. I actually really like you for like this case because you're showing promise of you know these concepts. It's just unlucky that like they just don't go well in this game.
Right.
So here, play safe. We're gonna try to last hit here. Okay, we have to run away. We have to run away. Okay, it's gonna be a 3v4, and we can't fight this. Not without Yumi ulti, not without your ult. You're gonna look for probably a base here, I feel like, because this looks like a really big fight soon.
They don't know I'm here.
Yeah,
He
you're just
comes
gonna,
to the base in the
you're just
bush.
gonna be homies.
Tragic.
Thank you for the follow, Mr. Legacy.
I beseech the moon to protect
Ooh, be careful.
Ally has been slain.
as light fills our path, so will darkness.
So here, yeah, we're gonna go. We're gonna put a ward. Oh shit. Yeah, put a ward over the Krug. Not Krug, fucking Gromp wall. Yeah, that'll be our little safety ward, but they're gonna clear it. This moment in time, we're just gonna sit here. We're just gonna do nothing but twiddle our thumbs. So
Yeah,
you're
she's
gonna have to get.
shove it.
Yeah, you're gonna have to like deal with this a lot. I
Right.
deal with this in Challenger where you just kind of like do nothing because map is on fire, and if you step up, you're just gonna end up dying and giving gold. Although
Right.
stand
And the other didn't.
either stand in the bush or stand at your turret, because anytime you're standing on vision for free, it just tells them that you're not rotating anywhere. So even when like you can't do anything, if you know there's vision where you are, make sure you aren't standing there.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
you're standing on vision, so you back up to your turret. Oh, wave something. Okay.
I see such wonders.
Nice ult, but unfortunately, I got squishy as fuck.
Yeah.
We cannot let fear trap us in twilight.
Play really safe here. Give wave if you have to. Look at where Darius is going. He's like standing behind that wall and also moving behind your turret. Yeah. So we're gonna stand way back there until Darius shows up. Yeah. We literally just soak EXP. We can't
You
do
just mid.
anything
You
else.
mid.
Okay, nice. You can walk up. Oh, you're gonna walk into traps. Back up, back up, back up, back up. Heal.
I healed already.
Dude, your movement's insane, but like, holy
It's
shit.
not bad this game, huh?
Yeah, that's really good. Alright, so here, don't chase them. Just push to the next wave.
Yeah.
Look at where they're going. They're taking the tech, so just push to the next wave as fast as you can.
Has been destroyed.
Just flamethrower and just fucking go off on this bitch. Alright, base in the bush, base in the bush, base in the bush. There's a Kiana back there, so we're not going in that area. We are not going near that thing.
I'm an independent cat.
The fortress is quiet. If only you could be here, Father. You would make this stone seem more.
Go top lane here.
Yeah. Even though
So-
drag's up in a minute.
Yeah, because I think about
Okay.
Dragon right now, right? Do you think
just have no
logically
prio,
that
yeah.
you can fight? Yeah,
That's
no
true.
way.
You have 0 prio.
Zero prio, zero items. At these moments in time, you just want to go to whichever way, whichever lane has the most farm for you and resources.
It is as the moon revealed.
And this Garen's already occupying that, and you can occupy this huge wave.
As terrifying.
EDG hype? You know, I've never played this skin
hype.
yet. I literally bought it, but I haven't gotten a chance to play Aphelios on main yet.
Dude, I'm such an Aphelios simp. I have the skin and the chroma on 3 accounts.
My man's has money.
It's crazy, man.
Okay, so we see 3 people on the map. One of them being the jungler. We see 4 people on the map. You can hard push
Everybody
this, yeah.
bot side.
Yep. So here we see Kion moving to us. Base. Just press B right now. So anytime that there's no one in front of our face, right? What we should be doing is the wave's not gonna like do anything crazy, right? Like there's not gonna be a minion that just one shots you in an auto. So whenever you're just hitting a free lane, always be looking at the minimap and seeing what's going on.
Right.
Don't walk up here because Jinx is gonna get her passive. Just farm the wave. We're gonna try to run from this Darius here. He's really tanky. Careful, we need to space him. Oh, you burn flash. Oh! Oh, huge! Don't overchase, don't overchase, don't overchase.
We did it.
Look towards mid here after you finish playing this wave. And when I say look, I mean actually like pan your entire camera over there, not like start walking. Because we
Okay.
gotta see what we're walking into first.
Right.
So here we see Kiana wall, so we're gonna hug top side of our lane. Yep. We're not gonna walk up here, we're just gonna wait for them.
Yeah, I figured. It's like I have no idea what's going on in the enemy
Move.
team right now.
Yeah, move to the red. Because the red spawning.
Is it red? Okay.
Yeah.
Should I take the wave first or?
You can, yeah. Oh, red buff is gone, bro. Oh, could be good, could be good, could be good.
So sad, man.
So, you are almost really insane there. If you walked forward instead of backwards towards that wall, you could probably kill the Kiana and actually walk out.
I
But
kind of
because-
lost track of Kiana. I don't know where she went, to be honest.
She ulted and then she ran to the top left.
Okay.
Oh my god. The flash spin combo. I've seen this one. That's a penta, isn't it? Oh no. Timer ran out. Unlucky.
Ouch. That slows for a really long time.
Yeah.
Get his ass. Okay, I'm trying.
It's all good.
Broken up into little pieces.
I'm
Alright.
kind of mentally checked out of this game, to be completely honest. This
No, it's
is
okay. I've
literally
had these
Sasuke.
games too.
No.
You're playing on NA, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I can hop on my account and I can bother you that way. Oh, whoa. Okay, the only way that CS being winnable is if you literally take every single piece of CS, hit IE in like 5 minutes, and then try to stall out the Baron, and then maybe a 5-man Aphelios ulti. Other than that, we're praying for God.
I will win this game, inshallah.
Yep, nice. We're going top just to take the wave.
You cannot feel the tear from your
That's another thing that's really good.
I can.
That's delish. Okay, don't walk up here. So,
Yeah.
how you play ADC in these situations where literally it's like everything's against the wall, you literally just watch your teammates die until you see a really good time to walk and play. So here, stay with Nexus. Alright, nice. Kiana's pretty much inting. Nice. Back up to the right, back up to the right, back up to the right. Oh, is Jinx not looking? Okay.
I autoed the minion!
It's all good. That was, for some reason, okay. That was good and bad. Good because it looked actually it was going to work out. Bad because in a
Right.
real sense, that never works out. Like, that Jinx did not acknowledge your existence.
Right.
All right. So, what's your IGN?
Religion 1.
Religion 1. Okay, I'm gonna stop watching here. I'm gonna start sharing on my own screen. How do you feel about that game? How did laning feel? I mean, obviously it was kind of rough, but how do you feel?
It was definitely a little rough. I got a lot out of it. I'd say I didn't really it was kind of hard to focus on things happening around the map because I was really like focused on what you were saying, and I know you said we would focus a lot more on macro, but I was actually
You're
I
looking
don't know,
at
I found myself just like looking at myself and focusing
So
on
that's the
micro.
thing about live VOD review that I'm
Right.
not really keen of unless people really ask for it. It's why I upcharge like an extra $10 because when
Right.
you do live, it's so hard to focus and play at the same time. And the reason,
That's true,
like most
yeah.
coaches will not VOD review after if you do a live coaching session, and that's like the one difference that I'm gonna do to like everyone that I coach that gets live is because now we can examine these mistakes. So here I'm gonna stream this client. Actually, I'm gonna share screen so you can see my mouse. Change windows screens. Can you see?
Yep.
All right. So we're gonna talk about the matchup first. This is what I do every single time I play on my unranked challenger that I do on weekdays. Is I talk about my matchup. We're playing Aphelios Yumi against Jinx Braum. If there's one word that describes this lane, what do you think it is?
Farm.
But it's something. Can you think of anything else? Starts with an S.
Slow push.
No.
No, that's 2 words. Fuck, I don't know.
It's scaling.
Scaling.
Because in this case, Braum is actually making a really big mistake for picking Braum into Yumi. Braum's biggest counters are going to be enchanters because Braum likes to be able to fight, right? He likes to hit melee champions. When you're playing an enchanter, not only do you have range where you can kite him out, because typically most ranged champions and enchanters have a slow ability and range, it also means that for him to walk up, he's going to take a lot of poke. So what we're going to do here is we acknowledge that this lane is a free scaling lane, and it's also really free for us to hit because we have just champion advantage off just having a Yumi over a Braum. So here, time control, move this out of the way, also remove the chat. Get this shit out. So here, whenever you walk in a lane, there are 2 things that you need to do when you first start out. So actually, I'm going to backtrack a little bit. So we started off the session talking about wanting to like carry our solo laners, and we wanted a jungle track, right?
Right.
So to carry our solo laners, we need to win lane because otherwise we're not going to be able to affect our solo lane. So unfortunately, we did not get to that part. However, jungle tracking, we did get to. So we're going to focus on that. We're going to focus on lane mechanics. So in lane, the reason why you want to start off by walking into this bush, it only works very, very rarely where we need like Yumi to Q this. Because the only way that their ball lane ever gets pushed against you guys is if they cheese you, chunk you, and then they get control of the wave, right?
Right.
Because that we have an Iron jungle, after we realize that they're not invading us, we definitely want to look to just go into this bush first, or at least try to ward it. So here, whenever you're playing against a melee champion, such as either Alistar, Leona, Braum, and you have a ranged support character, it's really good when you don't have to leash to pull the wave. This denies them a creep worth of EXP, which means that these engaged champions or tanky champions aren't allowed to play the game until a little bit longer.
Right.
So anytime you have the ability, try to do this.
So to pull the wave, I have to wait till every single minion.
Yeah, until these 3 backline creeps starts aggroing you, and then you just let it go.
Okay.
One thing to notice is, so we're going to talk a lot about lane. So number 1, talk about lane is going to be, so we're going to message this as lane talk. First thing we got to look about is matchup. Find out what the win con is. On for lane is. The second thing we're going to talk about is going to be how to walk into lane. That's very important, even though it's very, very basic. Because most players, they don't even think about how they walk in. So something I can teach you about is when you're playing against champions that have like a hook or have that kind of engaged, like let's say you're playing against a Pike, right, instead of a Braum. When you walk in and you don't have to leash, if you're not in this bush at the very beginning of the game to stop Pike from camping it, the one trick that every AD carry and support needs to follow is you walk with this wave. So when this wave, let me show you. When this wave is crossing through here and blocking this bush, guess what? They don't have a hook angle, right? They have to weave it through this tiny thing, which is really hard.
Right.
So this is a tip for you for if you ever play against like hook champions like that. So here, we're denying them 1 creep of EXP. And so now we want to start pushing. Why do you think we want to start pushing here?
To stack the wave, slow push.
Any other reason? It has
Set
something
our
to do
jungler
with
up.
which jungler?
Ivern. Set Ivern up for a gank.
That is true. But another reason that you're missing is even though you're thinking about your jungler, something you need to get into the habit of, you need to think about what the enemy team also wants to do. And this means their bot lane, their jungler. Their jungler has started bot side, right? So we figured out where they leash, where they're pathing to. So we're talking about jungle tracking, where they started. Because obviously, if Sejuani starts bot side, it means she's going to try to clear these camps and then move upwards, right? So for the next few minutes, she's going to be on the top side of the map. And that's when you realize that, oh, I'm going to have a lot of pressure to mess with these guys. If Sejuani were to start on blue and come down, even though this lane is easily punishable, you have to play a lot safer because you have to adapt to the environment that you were put in. You understand that jungle's going to be bot, so you have to play safer.
Right.
So, in terms of lane trading, this is where you start kind of messing up. Or you don't mess up, but like, this is where you're doing risky. So when you try to trade like this, look at this magical triangle, okay? This is a triangle. You are the only one in this triangle that's not on this team. Because Yumi's on top of you, right? This is where it gets really bad. Because if Braum lands a Q here, they both are in the same equal range to start engaging on you. When you want to auto-attack someone and harass someone like this, if you want to harass the Braum, you want to walk far down. Not just stand by the creep, but you want to walk far down. Do you know why?
Because the Jinx can't trade with me too.
Yes. And if you want to trade with the Jinx, where do you walk?
Top side towards her.
Yes. Because you're creating space, right? Meanwhile, if you just attack while you're in the middle, just like you are doing right here, boom. Like if this happened in a challenger game, Braum flashes on you and you're just dead. And like it's actually so exploitable. But so here, when Jinx walks up like this, you need to punish every creep when you have lane advantage. So when you have push advantage, always look to trade for every CS. So here, you're pushing. They're down into creep of EXP, right? So they're not going to level 2 already. But because they want this creep, we're looking at this Jinx. We poked her once, or we poked the Braum once, we poked the Jinx. She's coming back up. So that's when we had to poke at her again. That's another worth of auto attack that she could have taken.
Right, yeah.
And Braum is doing us a freebie by walking over here. Here, this is really risky that you're walking like so far out of the creeps because of Braum again. You have to think about what the enemy wants to do too, right? Not just what you want to do. Think about what Braum wants to do. But there, if you're out in the open, Braum can easily flash Q. We want to avoid that. That's our lose condition. Because Jinx can't engage us on her own. She's waiting for Braum to get an engage. So, 230 is a very important timer for bot lane. At around 230 timer. 230 timer is basically means that's when you should start warding your bot river in general. So, ward bot river every time. Unless you know where the enemy jungler is, but it's like a J4 that gank top. So, the point of the 230 timer is anytime it's 230, this typically means that a jungler has cleared through camps. Look at Sejuani. If she didn't like path all the way to blue buff, she would have been able to clear 3 camps already and be able to look for a gank. That's why you want to start warding right here. So in the next 10 seconds after they clear their buff or their camp, they're going to look for a gank and you can spot that out. So get into the habit of doing that. Okay. If you don't know where you want to ward on red side or even on blue side even, warding right here in this little spot gets you vision of when they walk out of the tri-bush or if they come through river. So it's really, really good. So here, Braum walks up. So here, do you know why this went so bad?
Should I have flashed the when he jumped on me?
You're close.
Probably not, right?
Let's go back one more step before. Let's talk about the jump, right? What about the jump is so important from Braum? How do you get the jump?
My positioning.
Yes, because we're not thinking about how
I'm
Braum wants to play
standing
the
too
game,
close to
right?
the melee minions, right? Yeah.
Yeah, this is really, really important. Like sometimes it's more important to think about how the enemy team wants to play than how you want to play. Because what you want to play, what's
Right.
going through your head is probably like, oh, I had priority in the wave, so I can push, right? Am I wrong? It's like I can push, I can harass, I can do whatever, right?
Right. Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to agree with me. I would love if you have some counter arguments. So like, I don't
I
want to.
mean, the reason I was playing so aggressive in this moment specifically is because I pulled the wave, and because of that, Jinx is still level 1 right now. So I figured even if Braun did get on top of me, that we might have been able to win the skirmish, but that wasn't the case. So
Yeah. So that is a really good reasoning for afterwards. Like you're thinking about, oh, I have the really big advantage, but we aren't also thinking about the whole picture, right? So Jinx, what does she get when she gets level 2? She just gets a zap or she gets traps. But the main part of her kit, what is it?
her passive,
Yes, it's her
No.
it's her Q passive, where she gets
Q
a
passive.
lot of attack speed or she gets a lot of
Right.
range and more damage. That is the bread and butter of Jinx in the early game. Because Zap doesn't really do all that much. It's like one damage tick and like some slows. Traps could be a game ender, but you can flash away from them. You can't flash away from these autos unless you flash out of range. Like if this was something like, let's see, something like an MF, right? MF's bread and butter is an E. If MF is level 1 here and doesn't have E because she tried to poke you earlier, this wouldn't be that bad. But because Jinx's main strength is to cover that range with her rocket form, that's why it gets really bad. But at the same
Right.
time, to prevent all that in that entire conversation, what do we do next time? We think
Stand
about
farther away from the. Think about what they want to do.
yes. Like we're
Right.
gonna drill you into that habit of just think what they want to do. So we're gonna put that at the very top. Think about what enemy wants to do. If you somehow master just the ability to read minds, which is literally just figuring out what they want to do, you can plan a million different outplay potentials and avoid a million ways of death. Like that's how OP this mind game is.
Yeah. See. Yeah. I feel like I kind of do that already when I skirmish and fight, and it's why I was able to have like such good movement versus all their skill shots.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, you're right. That's an interesting tidbit to take into my games.
Yeah, like you're really good at that. Like I agree. I can see that. I applaud you for that every single time throughout this coaching session. But now we just gotta turn that function just a little bit back in time, before this even happens. Because if we can combine what I'm teaching you now with what you already know, you're a Lane Kingdom god, dude. Like if you can dodge everything and plan ahead, like you're basically Gumayushi in lane.
Right.
So here, our jungler is playing towards the bot side. And so why did I tell you not to auto this wave, right? I told you not to auto here because I want this wave to push in, right?
Yeah, push into us so that he can gank, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And then what else? Why are we standing here? Like, what does this get for us?
Honestly, during laning phase, I'm just really cocky, right? I have like a big ego in laning phase, and I like to trade a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's why I subconsciously stand so close to their melee creeps.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably why I'm like positioned there in the first place.
So I can agree with that, but I think the real reason why you're standing right here and kind of walking in this direction is because you think that standing here, it makes you closer to the Jinx. Huh? What'd you say?
No, never mind. Sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, the real reason why I think
because my jungler is suffering.
yeah, like you think that because your jungler's here, they walk in just Q, you're closest to Jinx, right? And that's the easiest time to engage. You close that gap.
Right.
Yeah. But in reality, it's fine to have cocky and big ego. Like I like that. Like that makes you have a really strong lane phase. But you also need to think about how can I make myself ego and cocky while playing correctly. Playing just back here doesn't make you like any more beta or like a bitch made ADC. In fact, it makes you more alpha because you're mind gaming zoning them, forcing them where to walk. Because like anytime I told you to walk downwards, she started hugging upwards. Anytime I told you to avoid the Braum and go upwards, he went downwards. Oh yeah, good note to get into or good habit. Anytime you're below half HP, burn a pot. Like every single time. Like anytime you're below half, just burn the
Okay.
pot.
The reason I delay the pots on Aphelios is because I have my healing gun. I know it doesn't heal for that much, but
Still a good habit to get into. Burn the pot.
sometimes I'll use a pot too early and it'll go to waste because I have my lifesteal.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But good old saying comes from better safe than sorry. Like that's what I live by. So
Yeah, true.
something about AD carry that I really like to internalize with myself is my deaths mean 20,000 times more than the plays I make. I can double kill their bot lane 6 times over, but guess what? If we're in a late game team fight where their top side's fed and I die once, what does that 20 times solo kill do for me? Nothing when my Nexus explodes, right? I still see the minus 16 like
Yeah.
post game. So always think about what can go wrong in the worst case scenario. Worst case scenario is for you, if you burn that pot, is you lose 50 gold. Best case scenario, you are at higher HP to where the bot lane is afraid to engage on you, and you just have that much more pressure in lane.
Yeah. Yeah.
So here, it's going to be 4 minutes. At this point in time, we're going to assume that Sejuani's coming back bot. So we're going to turn the map on again. She's crossing back downwards. So here, I tell you to go back bot lane once again, or downside towards the bottom side of the lane. Ivern does make a lot of mistakes here. Ideally, you'd actually would be like 4-0 if Ivern like moved faster, but this guy is kind of just like whatever. He like shows up, he misses everything and wastes like 6 hours of his life. But so here, we see the Sejuani actually. We actually have a red side ward, and we see the Sejuani path through here. So anytime, a good rule of thumb is every like 10 seconds, look at your mini map. Like it is a very, very good habit that will never lead you down the wrong path. Always look at your mini map every 10 seconds.
Okay.
Here. Yo, Ryan, thanks for the raid, bro. Appreciate it. I'm doing a coaching session right now. Alright. So here, we're pushing. So, do you know why I tell you to push here, actually? There's like a lot of reasons here.
Well, Sejuani was bot side, right?
Yes, that's one.
So I could harass them under tower. I mean, they're half HP, so
Mm-mm.
oh, to get a recall, right?
Yeah, that's
I'm not
two.
too sure then.
That's two. All right, so the third one you're not
recall?
thinking.
Okay.
Yeah. So number one, Sejuani's bot side, and your jungler needs to base because they have top side camps to farm, right? And you also have like a lot of gold.
Right.
Number two, you're running out of mana. Number three, we do want to reset because of that. But number four, the reason why I'm telling you to push now is because look at this next wave. Notice how I asked you this question 3 times throughout this entire live game. It's like, check if this is cannon wave. Check if this is cannon wave. Even if it's not cannon
Right.
wave, look at your wave right now. It's pretty stacked, right? By the time you push this in to get another wave in. If we were to push any later, guess what? This wave would end up being here. Sejuani is here to help their bot lane, and you have to look for a base. Because number one, your jungler needs to back. Number two, you have no mana to push this in, and it's dangerous. So what happens is they're going to freeze on you, and you go down 20 CS.
Yeah.
So always got to plan to the future. So here,
So would
look
you
at-
say make a plan for every wave, or?
Yes. Like, I'm
Okay.
sure you've watched a lot of like pro player commentary or like high elo talk where it's like, this is wave A, wave B, and then we do something wave C, right? Like you've heard those terms before?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what it means to be in high elo, when it's like we look at every single wave that comes into our lane and we plan ahead. And by the time the wave gets here, we already have that idea of what to do with it. Like a lot of like high elo is literally just like chess, and why like many players think that League of Legends is a very easy game, because if you plan ahead accordingly and you play to that plan that you set up, it's a really easy game if nothing goes wrong. And that's where League of Legends is interesting, because it's just two people playing their concepts of what they can play right. So here,
Right.
this wave gets pushed in. You miss 2 CS because we push here. We would have missed this entire wave if we waited any longer, or we would have came back in a lane to a frozen wave state and we would be crying.
Right.
Okay. All right. So this is another thing I'm going to teach you about. It's going to be war timers. Because it's 4 minutes, or it's 6 minutes now, but you know how at 4 minutes I told you that the enemy jungler would be bot side again?
Right. Yeah.
So now we're going to every 2 to 3 minutes, whichever side you think the jungler is on after 2 to 3 minutes, they're going to swap to the other side. So let me just pull up the map to see where Sejuani is. She's on the other side of the map, you see? So if you don't want to like really look into tracking junglers like with full like intent of just staring at your mini map, that is a good metric to get into. Like you just look at the 2:30 timer, you look at where they started, and you look for that 4 minute timer, and from there you alternate every 2 minutes to find out where they are and have that general idea as to what side they're going to. In low elo, it's really really easy because most junglers aren't willing to just sit in a lane for like 10 hours. They'll alternate back and forth until they see the play.
Right.
So here, slow pushing is good. I really like that you have the slow pushing idea down because anytime you don't know what to do with the wave, unless you know for sure you need a fast push, slow pushing is a very good default mechanism to go to. Also, Yankee2127, thank you for the follow. Or I don't know if you followed, but thank you for showing up, man. I appreciate you from the Kaiser subreddit.
Shout out Yankee.
Shout out Yankee, bro. Thank you for the follow. There it is. So do you know why I told you to push this in now?
Because my wave is so stacked.
The wave being stacked is really good. Do we see what's going on here?
Oh, the skirmish. Right.
Yeah.
So I can roam up to the skirmish.
Yeah. And the reason why you do this is because if you push this like this, you're not missing anything when you roam up. Another reason.
I'm not missing anything, and then I'm forcing Jinx to miss something if she does roam up.
Yep. Really, really good. He's playing like a maniac here. So here, they're going to do nothing because nothing's happening here. And you think that Sejuani's bot side, which we do know she's bot side. So let's figure out where Sejuani is when we try ping for this gank here. Hams, thank you for the follow. So here, this is something that I think you can probably sniff out on your own. Braum walking here is kind of suspicious, no?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a really good sign to tell where jungler is. Like, because bluffing isn't a thing in low elo. Also, thank you for the follow, Butterfly. Bluffing isn't a thing right now. This guy, when he walked right here, is literally just him baiting that his jungler's bot side. Because if he has any like confidence at all, like that's gonna stem from his jungler being here. Otherwise, he's gonna take this really bad trade. We're just immediately backing up. So here, we still understand that jungler's gonna be bot side. We want to push this wave in. So anytime that you know that you no longer have jungler coverage, and you know the enemy jungler is bot side or the mid's roaming to your lane, hard push the wave and just abandon it as fast as you can.
So what if what if I'm in that situation and I know the jungler is really close, or I know mid lane is like really close and I need to shove, and if I don't, like my wave state is fucked, do I just like
You leave it.
I just leave it?
Yeah.
And okay.
You really just kind of just start crying because what's worse, just losing the wave and having to fix it later, or losing the wave and losing your life? Yeah, it's pretty fun.
It sounded like a good question in my head, but yeah,
no, it's fine. I like these
sense.
questions. A lot of people don't even bother asking because they're just like they have too much ego or they don't care. Butterfly, I saw your post on Reddit and decided to join the stream. Yo, thanks a lot, man. I hope you learned something here. All right. So here we auto this and we run away.
Blue team slain the dragon.
This is Johnny's bot side. What elo? This is a silver 1 game. So here we're shoving, we're taking a base. Yep. So a good habit to get into that a lot of low elo players fall for is they don't take these free base timers. Believe it or not, these base timers that you continually take bases is the reason why some players don't understand why they lose against better players. And it's because that you're slowly gaining items without them noticing, right? Because when you're pushing the lane and you disappear, they think you're either roaming, you're doing something else, or even when you base and they know that you base, they don't acknowledge that you bought an item, such as 25 bonus AP. This swings a fight. And so anytime you know that there's nothing to do, like you can't poke them, I see a lot of like new players, they sit at the turret even when there's only 3 creeps left and just try to poke them, right? Not only does that lead to you getting possibly engaged on, it really just leads to literally nothing, right? Because like if you try to poke them with 3 creeps, guess what? Nothing's gonna matter. Like they're just gonna just lifesteal it back up off these 3 creeps and then just push out the wave anyways. So rather than doing that, you could have gotten extra, like an exponentially more AD, came back in the lane, and now you can win this next fight.
Right.
Actually, that's a good thing to put down. Take base timers when nothing to do in lane. Okay, we're freezing here. We see the enemy jungle. Can't do anything here. So here, we need to play very, very careful, because if I turn this to the red side camera, guess what happens of what you do here? Their ball lane is now taking a reset, right? Or they should be coming back soon. Jinx is here. In an ideal world, if Jinx is here, who else can be here? Yeah.
Braum and the jungler, really.
Not the jungler, because we saw a jungler over here.
Oh, right.
But just Braum himself is enough to like murk you. So we really need to think about like what can possibly go wrong before. Like, so yeah, that's where we're gonna put that. Like these things.
Also, just something interesting real quick. Did you hear like around level 2 when I said that I fucked up my gun order?
No, I did not pay attention to that. What's up?
Because right now I have red green, and you're not supposed to have red green ever past level 1, right? And if I had chakrams in this fight, like I would have if I didn't fuck up my gun order. I'd probably kill Jinx, to be honest. Because this is around the time where Braum catches out Yuumi and we get into that first fight.
Yes and no. The reason why I say like yes is if Jinx is just standing still, just right clicking you, and you're like on top of her, yes, it's gonna work out. No, because guess what? Your chakrams are gonna hit when you're trying to hit her. If there's a Braum in the equation, you're gonna hit Braum, right? And so while you are playing your strat of you want to hit this guy, Braum is countering your strat by blocking it, and they're both hitting you.
Right.
So yeah, you have to like envision these like fights in your head. You're thinking only about what you want to do right now, right? Like you know Aphelios. Like you know Aphelios, that's your one trick. But you don't know the power of Braum Jinx, right? Like that's something you need to get into the habit of. This part where Yuumi gets caught. After Yuumi gets caught, I'm probably gonna end the VOD review, because at this point that just means lane's just unplayable. Because at that point you're just down summoners, yeah. Yuumi gets engaged on. So this is gonna be the last thing I talk about. Notice how deep you are in here, and look how much HP Jinx has lost. Nothing, right? Like even if you had chakrams here, let's look at how much damage you deal to Jinx at the end of this. This guy didn't even use shield yet. So do you still think that you would have won this if you had chakrams?
To be honest, the fight just would have been played differently if I had chakrams.
Okay, how would you play?
Probably not. Because if I didn't fuck up my gun order, I would have white green right now. So I probably would have. I think in my head, I thought I had red white. That's why I went kind of full 8 mode and ran at her. So if I had green white, I probably would have kited back and not died. Just placed a turret down and yeah, kited back.
So if you have these guns, you would have kited back and you wouldn't have died here. But if you had red white, you would have went in.
Yeah, that would have been my first instinct.
Interesting.
I thought I had red white. That's why I went full 8 turret there.
I understand, but regardless, at the very end of it, like we can see how much damage Braum blocks from you, right? Like, because especially if you're trying to go chakrams too, like this thing blocks it.
I don't know. Looking back, if I had red white, I think I actually do win that, because I'm on top of her for a good amount of time. I don't know. It's like an impossible scenario. Because
let's see. So If this was the case, you would be charging up chakrams right now as you're moving towards it.
Yeah. Right.
So now this is like 1 auto, 2 autos.
I would have gotten like 3 autos in, I feel like.
That's potentially true.
And then I got a couple.
Okay. So how I see it is, at
And then I
best,
got-
you end up killing the Jinx, but you're still gonna end up dying to Braum.
Yeah.
So at the end of it, guess what you're also losing, right? Because we look at wave state, you're gonna lose a lot of minions.
That's true. Yeah.
So when Braum still can return it, yeah, that's what I just brought up. Yeah. So at the end of this, the whole point is when you evaluate fights like this, you need to think about like not just what you want to do again, think about what they want to do and how they're gonna stop you. And also realize that when you're fighting a 2v1 and the disparity in HP is that large, yes, Aphelios is really broken with those guns, but when you're missing a whole ass support and you're not like, this guy's not below half HP yet, by the time you switch guns, you're not going to end up winning, bro. Like, it's just better to just walk back, soak this next wave of solo EXP, and then you just carry from there. You try to just keep on farming.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. So I'm going to leave you with these notes. You have some really good game sense here. You have some things that you haven't fully thought through, but you have the idea correct. Just need to focus on that a little bit more. Did I? That cut out, didn't I?
Yeah, you cut out.
Okay, yeah, sorry. That's what happens when I leave the game. Cleanse would have been better.
Good.
Yeah, we talked about cleanse, but I focused on it too late. But what I said was, I'm going to leave you with these notes. You have the correct idea in some places. You just haven't fully thought them through. You have really good like mechanics and game sense. You just really need to just hone in on it and think just one step before. Because if you can think
Okay.
one step before, you have like almost a perfect game sense to win these lanes and win these fights. So
Right.
after all that, 2 things I'm going to ask is, number 1, what do you think of the coaching session?
I liked it a lot. It felt really personalized. You obviously know what you're talking about. I got a lot out of it, and I can rewatch the VOD and continue learning from it. So thanks, man.
And the second thing I'm going to ask is, if you really did enjoy this and you do ever want to get coaching from me again, I do not accept coaching students again for another month from that exact student, because for the next month, I would like you to improve on everything we talked about right now. Because in that entire VOD review, all that I spoke out was within 5 to 10 minutes. And that is a short amount of time with a lot of content that you could work on. And so if we want to talk about carrying our soul laners, we got to
for
fix
sure.
that first, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So focus on these. Next time, if you ever get coaching from me, or if you ever just want to show up in my Discord and just show up a play, or just like talk to me and show like how you manage your way better in the clips and highlights channel, or just talk in general or ask questions, I'd be happy to see your progress. Like, the best thing about coaching that I feel the most fulfillment in, especially since I'm doing this educational vibe, is I want to see you guys improve, and I want to see your improvement. Like, please show me, so then I can feel good about myself. Because if you guys don't improve while I'm doing this for months on end, I'm not doing my job right, and that's really, really bad. So I hope you can take these notes and get really, really good. I definitely think you have potential to be at least a plat player with just this alone. You just need to fix up your laning phase a little bit, and I'm pretty sure in like 2 months you could probably be plat. I'm not even gonna lie.
Wow. Okay. Thanks, man. Really appreciate that.
Any other questions,
And,
comments, concerns?
I think it's really cool what you're doing. Making educational ADC content, and but no, like really, man.
No,
like,
no. I'm cheesing. I'm not laughing. I'm like cheesing at it. Like this.
And I saw your post on r/ADC mains, and that subreddit is honestly like pretty dog shit. Like, it's just a bunch of like salty players, but like posts like that really change up the vibe, and it's stuff that I like seeing. And I really care about improving, and I can tell you get fulfillment out of making people play better and helping people play better. So once again, appreciate it a lot, man.
Yeah, for sure, dude. Hope to see you improve and hope to see you on my Discord. Welcome to the Midream Academy, and see you on stream. Later, bro.
See you, man. Appreciate it.
I feel good. I feel really good. There's a huge void in educational ADC coaches who are doing a good thing. Yeah, so I'm not gonna lie, for the longest time